And yeah, you can either have the soles of your feet together, or if that feels uncomfortable in your hips, have your knees resting together, whichever one feels nicer. Just maybe see which one works best for your pelvis, more comfortable for you to rest in. And try and keep your elbows on the floor. Let one hand rest on your lower belly, so below the belly button, and bring your other hand so it's nearer the chest. So we're kind of one hand on the lower end of the torso, one hand on the upper end of the torso. Close your eyes, slightly tuck your chin, relax your spine, the weight of your head, the weight of your pelvis. And then just start to feel your breath. So you're breathing into the bottom hand first, then filling the space between your hands, and then filling the space at the top hand, and then exhaling. So breathing to the bottom hand, then to the space between the hands, then to the top hand, and then slowly exhaling, letting the breath go. And just keep your breath like that, so there's a little bit more conscious awareness being drawn in with your breath. As you go to your breath like this, let it feel like it's a strong part of your connection to the moment. It holds your attention, it's holding your consciousness. As you breathe, you're breathing your consciousness. Feel it start to soothe your body. Now start to feel you're more connected in your body. Remembering the word yoga means union, which is that everything is connected. So when we're practicing yoga, it's a recognition that everything is connected. Not that there's a place where things are disconnected, but it's coming into the light of awareness of that connection. Just feel with each breath, it's like the light of your awareness shining upon the purpose of yoga, to feel union. A few more breaths, feeling the ground beneath you. Through that, connecting with all things on its surface. Connecting to the air around you, the breath you breathe, and with that, connecting to everything that breathes the same breath. Just take a few more rounds. With your next inhale, if you've got your knees apart, bring them together. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Bring your nose towards your knees. Either turn to your side or just simply rock and come up to sitting. Crossing your legs however they're comfortable. Bringing the palms of the hands together, thumbs to the center of your chest. So once you've aligned yourself with your eyes closed, just checking in, chest over hips, head over the center of the chest, and then lengthening from the root of your spine to the top of your head. And we chant, filling ourselves with vibration, vibration being that which things travel through, and everything a form of vibration. So it's the form of connection. And it's also like the second of the Yoga Sutras says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which means yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So basically, yoga is the practice of calming the mind so we can then experience that union. So see if we can practice that as we chant, the vibration of the chant, the flow of the chant beginning to calm the nerves, quieten your mind and give you that space. Take a deep breath in. Your eyes open. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. Okay, and then cross your right shin in front of your left shin. Might have turned. Right shin in front of left, wiggle your feet across. Wriggle your spine nice and tall, bring your hands together in a prayer position. Interlace your fingers, push your palms forwards, and then take your arms up and see if you can keep the waistline back a little. So when the arms lift, let it move from the shoulders and open up the sides of the chest rather than bending in your lower back. As you release, right hand comes down to the floor, lean over toward the right. The left thumb is pointing back. Soften down into your right elbow and keep the left buttock firmly on the ground. And then feel your breath, the light of your awareness spreading into the pose. On an inhale, come up. Once you're sitting up, twist to the right, so your so your left hand's behind, your right hand on the knee. Gaze over your back shoulder. And be aware of keeping your chest directly on top of your pelvis, head directly in the center of your chest. So it's like you're turning on a spike, or you're turning on a pole, which runs up the center of your body through the crown of your head. And then inhale back to center. Place your hands out to the floor or in front of you and just bow forwards at the hips. Just taking your spine softly forwards, but making sure that the movement is initiated from the bend at your hips. Inhale as you pull in through your belly and roll your spine back up. Take your arms by your side. A little breathing practice here. Even inhale and exhale. Hands are in a fist when you pull down, hands spread out if you lift up. So we're breathing through the nose. Inhale up and exhale, pull down. Then close your eyes. Feel there's real purpose in the exhale, like you're trying to clear out any physical cobwebs, literally. Like you're trying to wake up any stagnant energy. Five more. 2, 1, inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands down onto your knees. Take a few regular breaths. And then opening your eyes, lean back on your sit bones slightly. And we're coming to a modified boat pose, so bent legs, holding onto your legs if you need to. That's actually hold onto your legs, whether they're behind your thighs or hands around your ankles. Pull on them and lift your chest up. See if it can help you to pull your arms and shoulders back. Scoop your belly so you're strong in your belly, and then let go. Nothing should shift because you've put the effort into your belly to keep you here. So now the arms are still there, but they're light, relaxed. There's a nice softness in your shoulders. Take another breath. And then left leg's going to cross in front of right this time, crossing at the shins. Hands come back to a prayer position. Cross with the other thumb and index finger first. Push your palms away. Be mindful of keeping the waist back as your arms come up. Good, and then the gaze is forwards, maybe slightly low. So there's a calmness to the gaze, softness, non-judgment, non-thought-provoking. See if you can just experience seeing without it being clouded with thoughts. And taking your left hand down to the floor, right arm up and over, dropping into the shoulder, into the elbow. Just feel your breath spreading into your right side. On your inhale, come up, the right hand comes round behind, left hand comes to right knee, twisting round. Again, just feeling like you're level through the sides of your body, turning on the central spit, the central pivot. And then with an inhale, back to center. Hands can stay out wide or you can walk them forwards. I'm not going any further than there because I have no more floor in front of me, but you can keep walking your arms further forwards if that's as far as you go. So there's just a level of support, whatever depth you get to. Breathe into your feeling, breathe into your experience, and again, let your breath be an anchor of your awareness, your attention, consciousness, being present. Working your way back up again. Resting your hands on your lap. Keep turning round, I don't know why. This time, hands into Gyan Mudra, so thumb and index finger come together. Elbows come in by the side of the waist, shoulders back. So similar to when you pulled down, this time Kapalabhati breath, so your belly is going to pull in to force the breath out. So belly pulling in with each forceful exhale. Begin with an inhale, and then exhale forcefully. With your eyes closed, you can maybe even imagine your arms up and pulling down with each forceful exhale to help you keep rhythm. Keep your head and shoulders nice and steady. And just as your elbows would pull down, your belly is pulling in. And inhale deeply. Exhale. A few moments just to be with the after effects. Even though your eyes are closed, feel like the space around you begins to light up. Your awareness lighting up. And as your eyes open, if your arm blocks come off them, lean back slightly onto your sit bones. Lift your legs. Once more, just a brief hold. Lift your chest. Engage the arms back. Engage the belly. And then when you let go, nothing moves. So you can stay here, or you could straighten out into more of the full Navasana. Keeping the softness in your shoulders and scooping in the belly, so we know where the strength's deeply sourced from the core. You can always stay legs bent. You can always hold on. Take 2 more breaths. The feet are going to separate on the floor as you shift forwards. Malasana, so your hands can come behind to push you forwards or just tip forwards from your feet. Can you walk your arms out in front in Malasana? So you're taking like a forward bow. Knees are nice and wide to allow you space for your torso to come through as far as you're able to. Then stick your hands to the ground in front of you and feel your hips sinking back toward the floor. Couple more breaths. Your legs push straight. Turn your feet so they're parallel, feet wide, and dangle forwards. Let's hold on to opposite elbows so you're cradling your forearms. Let your head hang between your cradled arms. Sit bones rising up. And then if you like, maybe a little sway side to side just to help get into the sides of the waist. Swing your spine rather than swinging your arms. Your arms will just naturally follow. Keep the head heavy. Come back to center. And then roll your spine. As you roll all the way up, take your feet into hip distance apart. Inhale, your arms lift upwards, gaze up. Exhale, bow forwards, hands toward the floor. Inhale to your fingertips, reach the chest forwards. And then exhale, fold forwards and step your legs back and lower your hands and knees down to the floor. We're going to have a long stance between your hands and knees, so it's not quite all fours, or it is all fours, but it's not tabletop. And doing cat-cow here, inhale as you look forwards to the bottom. Exhale as you scoop your spine, belly button toward the spine. Inhale again, look forwards, point the bottom up. And exhale, scoop your spine. Go again like that, inhale. Really opening up the throat, the chin forwards. Exhale, chin into chest. Okay, when you inhale this time, looking forwards, can you lower your chest between your thumbs
And chin and chest land on the floor. You're looking along the ground. Hands are there just as a light support, bottom pointing up. See if the shoulders can roll towards your elbows and elbows squeeze in slightly. Sliding from here through to a low cobra, so just pushing into your hands. Slide your chest through. A little low cobra. When your cobra lowers down, legs are going to float up off the floor. So take your arms down by your side. Interlace your hands together and reach the knuckles toward the gap of the legs. Then reach your legs like the feet are trying to run away from your hips. Knees as straight as you can. Keep your gaze so that there's just a nice long neck without creasing the back of the neck too much. So equal length, front, back and sides. One more, inhale. Exhale, lowering down to the ground. Place your hands back underneath your shoulders. Push back up to hands and knees. I'm going to take the right arm all the way underneath, landing on your right shoulder and ear. And the left arm stretching up to the top of your mat, looking underneath your left arm. At the same time, try and feel the left hip pulling back away from your left hand. So the left hip goes a little bit higher and further back in space. And then try coming up onto the fingertips of your left hand. So your arm bone lifts slightly and you can look under a little more. Take another breath, breathe into the shoulder blade. Bend your left hand back in, press up to hands and knees. Left arm threads all the way under, landing on your left ear, left shoulder. Right arm reaching up to the top of your mat. As your right arm walks its way for as straight as you can be in the elbow, then feel your right hip drawing up and back a bit further so your right waist gets longer. And again, if you want to just like lift the palm of your hand so you're just on your fingertips instead of a flat hand, still with the elbow as straight as you can and look underneath more. Breathe deeply into your left shoulder blade. Bend your left arm, right arm, come back up onto hands and knees, and then a downward facing dog. Both hips equally lifting up and back. If you think of the skin across the top of your thighs, feel it pressing against your thighs and also spreading, broaden the skin across the top of your thighs. Walk your feet up to the top of your mat, this time with your feet hip distance, so a bit narrower than before. Cross your arms again so you're holding opposite elbows, but go your left dominant way. Head hangs loosely. And this time, instead of swinging, think of sinking deeper, further toward the ground. Hold your elbows as if you're allowing them to become heavier, your forearms moving closer to the floor. To get further down, can you relax your back muscles, let your spine lengthen, release tension around your lower back particularly. Hands come to the floor or shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Come all the way up, inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, hands to a prayer position at the center of your chest. And then cross your fingers, your dominant way, push your arms forwards. Keep the waistline back as your arms lift, keep your gaze forwards. Feel the same thing I was suggesting in downward dog, so the skin on your thighs pressing against the thigh bones as you keep your waist back as well. Going to keep the right arm up in the air, bring your left arm down by your side. As your left arm goes down by your side, start to slide the left leg back. Keep the big toe on the floor. Open your chest, lift your chest a bit higher. So in a slight back bend. And see if you can keep that position and balance and lift the left leg. Feel like the left big toe is trying to reach back toward the back line of your mat. Keep lifting your chest. Bring your hands to prayer position. Feet back to hip distance. Do the other cross of thumb and index. Push your arms forwards. Inhale, lift up. Keep the thighs firm, belly strong. And again, a steady gaze forwards. As you push upwards with your arms, feel your feet are pressing downwards. So we get a dual force. Flip your palms, Gary, so your palms are facing the ceiling. With your fingers interlaced. That's it. Left arm stays in the air, right arm comes down by your side, right big toe slides back. So initially keep the toe on the floor and then open up your chest, a little back bend, pulling the left arm, back slightly.
And then see if you can lift your right leg. Keep the chest open. Let the right arm go back a bit further as well. You're going to activate the muscles in the back of the right leg slightly. Nice way of practicing your balance, because your big toe can always just touch down again if you need it to. Hands come back to prayer, feet back to hip distance. This time the prayer goes up, inhale. Exhale, bow forwards at the hips. Inhale, flat back. Step your right leg back, lower your knee to the floor. Go, bring your hands onto the front thigh. Push back slightly, pull your waist back, keep your shoulders over your hips, and then rebend into that front knee, keeping your shoulders aligned with your hips. Keep the chest and belly lifting, and then float your arms up. You can stay here, or you can take your gaze up. You can stay like that, or you can make the palms press together. Keep sinking the hips, but feeling strength in the belly as you lift through the chest. When you next exhale, hands come down, straighten your left leg out. So your left heel stays on the floor and toes pull towards your left shoulder. This is where you might want to put your hands on blocks. Certainly you'll want to be on fingertips and roll back the shoulders. Move forwards with your chest. Turn those blocks one step higher, Sarah, as well. Yeah, and then you can really bring your chest forwards, that's it. Another breath there. Toes pulling up. Foot goes flat to the floor. And then move the blocks if you've got them, coming onto the long hands and knees position. Inhale, bottom and the head point up. Exhale, bend your elbows, chest to the floor. Inhale, slide through to cobra. Exhale, lower cobra and lift your arms, locust pose. This time without interlacing the fingers, palms face the ceiling, but feel your arms squeezing towards each other as if they're trying to interlace. And again, legs lengthen, feet reaching away from the hips. The back of your thighs and the back of your upper arms instigate the lift of the legs and the arms. One more inhale. As you exhale, hands and legs down, push back. Okay, so we're threading the right arm back under again. This time, as you thread your arm and shoulder under, bring your left hand around to your right hip. So your left hand comes off the floor and round behind you to your right hip. And you either rest your hand on your hip or get your fingers to go further round so they're in the hip crease. And then look over the left shoulder a bit more. So you're turning your gaze more up toward the ceiling. Now you can stay like that, or very carefully and slowly release the left arm and start reaching your left arm up to the top of your mat. And the arm bone stays behind your ear so you can still see the ceiling. You can stay like that or come onto the fingertips, making that little tent with your hand. The elbow as straight as you can, your chest turned deeper. And in that, breathe more deeply into the back of your chest. Bend your left arm, hand to floor, push back up round. This time the left arm goes all the way under. You're going to take it that little bit further under. Right arm, if you can, bring it round towards your left hip. And if you can't, then you can do what you did before. So if you feel uncomfortable in the neck in any way with this, then keep your right arm extending up to the top of the mat. Look a little further round. See if your shoulder can roll back more and if you can see more of the ceiling. And again, you could stay there, or you can very slowly and gently start moving your right arm toward the top of the mat. There's no right or wrong way of getting it there. Just find what feels nicest in your arm. And the arm is going, it feels like it's more going toward the middle of your mat this time rather than the right corner. So your arm is behind your ear, ideally. Another breath, deep into the left shoulder blade. Good. Bend your right arm for support. Push into that hand, come back up to hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Feel a nice even reach up through your legs. Think of your standing position how your legs were pressing back when you were standing, and try and get the same here. Step your right foot forwards inside your right hand, lower your left knee down to the ground. Hands onto the right thigh. Yeah, and then go back a little. You can kind of push the thigh bone with your hands to help you pull your belly back, and then re-lunge into that leg until you feel an opening into the front of your left hip. Feel stability, and when you've got stability, arms can come up and maybe the gaze follows, maybe the hands come together. I would suggest probably doing the same variation on this side as you did the other side. Feel from the sides of your waist, up through the sides of your chest, through the sides of your arms, everything driving you up into that point of the hands. On your next exhale, hands will come down to the floor, and then straighten your right leg out, toes towards your shoulder. Let's see if we can visualize the sit bones in our bottom. So instead of the sit bones tucking under like they're pointing to the floor, try and get your sit bones to start rolling up a little. So the sit bones rising, pointing out more. Good, arms plugging back in the shoulders, soft gaze. And then when your foot goes flat to the floor this time, we're stepping up to the top of the mat. So just flattening that foot and projecting the other leg back up. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer position at the center of your chest. Interlace your fingers your dominant way, push forwards. Lift your arms up. Keep the gaze forwards, firm from your feet through your legs, like you can feel everything hugging into your leg bones, squeezing you taller. Good, right arm staying up in the air as your left arm comes down. Slide the left big toe back, lift the left leg off the ground, and this time see if you can catch hold of your foot. Pushing your foot into your hands, and then lifting the left knee as your left knee lifts. That takes you into dancer's pose. Keep lifting that back knee, not turning the pelvis, keeping the pelvis level, but lifting the thigh bone. Inhaling when you come up. Exhaling when you release. Feet back to hip distance, hands back to prayer. The non-dominant cross and push forwards. Inhale, arms lift with conscious awareness of keeping the torso so it's streamlined, ribs laying flat. The more we keep the rib cage aligned with the pelvis, the more we're going to start opening into this extension through the arms. Left arm stays in the air, right arm comes down, right big toe slides back. And you could just stay with that, lifting the leg, or you can bend, catch hold. Start lifting your right knee. Feel the power of your foot pressing into your right hand. So it's almost like your right arm is pulled to its maximum length. On your next inhale, coming back up. Exhale, feet down, hands to prayer position. Follow your prayer upwards, keeping strong legs. Inhale. Exhale, bow forwards, hands to the ground, or the legs. Inhale, flat back. This time, step your left leg back. Walk your hands around to the left edge of your mat, turning on your feet. Both feet pointing to the long edge of your mat. Inhale to your fingertips. Flatten your back. Yeah, as you flatten your back, roll your sit bones up a little higher. Strengthen your legs so your legs grip inwards rather than pushing down into the feet. Feel the feet are pulling up to your hips. Keep that strength in your legs and bring your hands to your hips, elbows wide. With a straight back, head a bit higher, Sarah. With a straight back, come all the way up. Warrior two on the right side, arms open wide. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees and the left heel just goes a bit wider. Wider, Beth, a lot wider. Keep going wider, wider, wider with your stance. Yeah, bend into the right knee, warrior two. Right thigh bone and right arm aligned with each other. So just like you did when you were sitting, you can feel how the chest sits above the pelvis and the head in the center of your chest. The tailbone drops like a pendulum. Get deep, make your legs work. Get deep into the bend of that front leg with the knee pressing wide. When you breathe in, straighten your leg. And then I'd like your left hip to try and lift towards your left arm. So the left hip tipping up toward the left arm. That's going to make you reach further out through your right arm. Bring your right hand down, palm facing forwards on the leg. Look up toward the left hand. So we're squeezing the legs in like you did a moment ago, rather than relying upon your hand to rest on something. Yeah, so feel that same thing. It's like your feet are trying to pull upwards into your hips. Uses your core more. Roll that top shoulder back so the arm is out of your way as you look up. As you exhale next, look down. Inhale, come all the way up. Bend down into your right leg again. Bring your right forearm down onto the right leg this time. Left hand around to the right hip. Turn your chest, a bit like you did when we threaded the arm underneath on the floor. Yep. So your hand is coming round to that hip, or you can thread your fingers into the hip crease. As you turn your left ribs and chest more toward the ceiling, look further up. And then you can stay there, or again, slowly and carefully start to extend the left arm just behind the line of your ear. Once the left arm is extended in line with your ear, you're keeping your gaze to the ceiling. Strong and straight from the left arm, down that straight left leg, into the edge of the left foot. One more inhale. As you exhale, bring your left hand down to the floor, lift the back heel, drop your back knee. Nice, and then bring your hands both onto the right leg again, so you're in this knee lunge. This time with a twist, left elbow comes to the outside of your right thigh. Turn your chest as far as you can. Try and turn your chest so it lines with your left thumb, and then make a prayer with your other hand. So you're kind of getting a deep twist first and then making the prayer so it lines with the center of your chest the best you're able to. You do what's best in your body. Last inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step onto plank position this time. So a nice big back, reach back through both legs straight. And then we're going to knees, chest and chin to the floor. So knees go down, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, slide through to cobra, lift the chest. Exhale, locust, arms down by your side, legs float. See if you can get more of your thigh bones off the ground this time. More of your chest, and really balance between your hips and your ribs. Feel like each pose you come into almost hypnotizes you into the pose. All you're experiencing is stuff related to the posture. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale, push up to hands and knees, and downward facing dog. Let's see if we can do the same thing on the other side, but with more sound to the breath. And every time you lose the sound of your breath, remind yourself to use an ujjayi sound, that deep, kind of throaty sound, but as you breathe through the nose. Step your left foot forwards inside your left hand. Walk your hands around to the long right side of your mat. Align your feet so they're parallel. Come onto your fingertips. Pause. Squeeze the muscles of your legs into the bones and squeeze your legs together a little. Lift your chest further forwards, sit bones higher, hands to hips, straight back, coming all the way up. Warrior 2 on the left side, arms open. Turn your left foot out, turn your right heel wide, and bend into the left leg. Remember your breath. And ideally, when you make your movements, like foot turns, knee bends, arms lift, each movement coincides with a phase of the breath. So your breath becomes like the conductor of your movement, like it becomes a yogic dance almost. Same with any little adjustments you make them so that they're tied in with the breath, and then you're practicing connection, union. One more round of breath. When you inhale next, straighten out your left leg. When you exhale, tip your right hip towards your right elbow. Reach over with your left arm, right hip lifting toward the right elbow. That's it. And then ideally no block. Hand on the leg with your palm facing forwards. Turn your chest up and look up towards your right hand. Use your leg strength and your core strength. Squeeze the legs up into your pelvis as it turns and opens. Your pelvis turns and opens your spine and your chest. When you exhale next, look down. On your inhale, come up. Rebend into the left leg. Take left forearm down onto the left leg. Right hand round behind onto either the left buttock, or if you can, fingers into the hip crease. Good, that's going to help you to roll your right chest and right shoulder up. Look up. Get a nice deep rotation. Go for the deeper of the twists we did when we threaded the arm underneath earlier. See if you can feel that deeper rotation. When you're ready, arm extends over, so it's just behind the line of your ear. Thumb points back. Almost like your armpit very slightly turns towards you as your arm extends. Feel strength all the way down your right leg. Last inhale. As you exhale, hand down, lift the back heel and lower your right knee to the floor. Hands onto the left thigh. You might just back up a little initially. And then as you lunge into it, right elbow onto the left knee and twist deeply first. Get the hook of your arm to help you twist, then make your prayer. You're either gazing to the left or gazing over your left shoulder if your balance feels good. See if you can maintain a steadiness and a focus in the pose without becoming hard in your face or hard in any of the joints. Last inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Great, and then back into plank position. Push through your heels so your both legs get a real good straighten. It's like you're neutralizing the left and right sides of your body. And then knees go down, chest and chin to the floor. Slide through, cobra. Lower down, locust. Arms reach back. Palms long, soles of the feet long, and then the whole band of your arms and legs lifting. Strong in your core, waist narrow, belly to spine. And inhale. And this time, exhale down, push back to child's pose. And just relax your arms down by your side in child's pose. Take a few breaths. Okay, and I'm keeping in a kneeling position as you roll your spine up. And from your kneeling position, if you can keep your knees together and open your feet wide so that you're sitting between your heels, put blocks there if you can't. Okay, and anyone whose knees, we're all looking all right. Oh yeah, I was just trying to work out where your legs were, but I can see them now. With your skirt trousers on. Yeah, harem. Okay, so from here, anyone at home who struggles with kneeling, you can do this cross-legged. Yep, take your hands behind, lean back a little. Good, and then draw your waist back a little further. See if you can sink your belly back. Go back a little further with your arms, maybe down onto your elbows. And again, sink your waist back. Keep the chin in for now, looking forwards. If your knees are beginning to lift really high, or this is pulling in your knees or your lower back, stay as you are. If you want to try going back further, you might just come up and put one of your blocks behind you so it's there to support your head and chest, and come further down so that your chest and your head land on a block and you're in a supine position. If you know you can do it without blocks, then that's fine, go down without blocks. And those people who've got all the way down, try taking your arms overhead, holding onto opposite elbows. Alternatively, you're staying on your elbows, looking forwards. Or your hands, or just the kneeling position. Slow your breath down. Head comes up with the support of your hands if you're on your back, so your chin is in. And then use your arms to come up. And then once you're all the way up, shift forwards, downward facing dog. Feel how that's nice on the top of your feet as your feet begin to, the ankles get a little rest. Spread your fingers, spread your hips back. And walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Lower your bottom down into Malasana squat, elbows between the knees. Like we did earlier, wriggling into the gap of your legs, walking your arms out in front and trying to feel your arms reaching forwards and your hips reaching back to help find balance. Now, if you feel like the balance is there for you and your bottom's not too far from the floor, just slowly lowering your bottom down to sitting. Or if the ground's a long way behind, put your hands behind to soften that landing. Straightening your legs out in front. Fingers behind you, wriggle up nice and tall, inhale. Exhale, bow forwards over your legs. Take hold of your feet or a belt if you can't reach your feet. And if you don't want to have one handy, hold on to the legs. Pull slightly against your feet or against your legs or the belt to draw your chest further forwards and your hips stay back. Get longer in your waist. Let your breath nudge you. Let your breath help you find space. The light of your awareness brighter with each breath. Inhale, straight arms, straight back. Exhale, hands to the floor and shift forwards. I'm going to try a little shoulder stand. If you're not taking shoulder stand, any neck issues, eye issues, high blood pressure or lack of familiarity or comfortableness in the pose, then instead you come down onto your back with the hips elevated on a block, legs in the air. To begin with, let's just roll back and forwards on the spine, hands by your hips. We're going to roll back, take your legs behind, roll up, bring your feet down to the floor. Roll back, take your legs behind, roll up, feet to the floor and bow over your legs. Roll back, feet to the floor. Roll up, maybe straight legs as you bow forwards. Another couple, rolling back, feet toward the floor. Rolling up, chest toward the legs. One more, rolling on your spine like this. There's a nice way of massaging your back muscles in preparation. The next time you roll back, try staying there if you're taking shoulder stands. So rolling back, feet toward the floor, and then wriggle your elbows in narrower, bring your hands onto the back of your chest. Find the lower ribs and see if you can wriggle your hands flatter and flatter onto the bottom of your rib cage, then lifting your legs up one at a time into shoulder stand. Feel your balancing on the back of your shoulders and the back of your arms. Take the alternative if that works better for you. Feel once you work on this pose more and more and you get comfortable and familiar with being upside down and all the things that can bring. When you start to feel comfortable there, how it becomes almost like a meditative pose. It becomes deeply relaxing and certainly very, very nourishing for your body, for your nervous system, for your health, and for your physical yoga practice. The king of asana, the king of poses. When you're ready to, the feet go back down toward the floor behind you. And then just using your hands if you need to support yourself as you start rolling your spine down. Stay on your back for a moment and just rest for a second or a few seconds on your back. Knees bent, resting your knees on each other. And like we did at the beginning, elbows on the floor, one hand on the lower belly, one hand on the upper chest. Feel your breath between those 2 points. Breathe into your lower hand, let the breath fill the middle section and then to your upper hand. Exhale all the breath out. Lift your bottom a fraction. Take your arms straight down by your side and bring your hands so that the thumbs and even maybe your thumb joint wrists are underneath your bottom. Lay your bottom back down onto them and straighten your legs out. Push down into your elbows and puff your chest up to the ceiling. Let your head tilt back and land on the top of your head. Keep pushing your shoulders down into your elbows. Lengthen the throat, the chin. It's a little bit like when we were taking the knees, chest and chin to the floor earlier. Okay, Sarah, so just come out of that second. Have your arms straight. Lift your bottom. Bend your legs. Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah, now bring your arms in but long. Okay, now bottom down. Now puff your chest up. So your elbows are narrow. That's it. There you go. Okay, and then push into the elbows to free your head. Come all the way back down. Bring your knees towards your chest. Take a little happy baby here. So arms come inside the knees and then they catch the outer edges of your feet. So your feet are wide and you rock a little or wriggle a little around. Let the baby emerge in the pose rather than it being still. Wriggle around. Hold on to your legs, roll your way up to sitting. Straighten out your right leg and bring your left foot across. Take a seated twist here, wrapping your right arm around the left leg. Inhale, tall. Think of your alignment. Exhale, twist a bit deeper. Your straight leg, foot flexed. Your bent leg, thigh pulling in towards the right ribs. Your spine lined, pelvis, chest and head. Your gaze all the way around to the left. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of your left leg. Place your hands to the side, bow forwards towards your right leg or swoop your arms and take hold of the foot. Inhale, long arms, long spine. Exhale, fold deeply over the leg. Your head be the natural continuation of your spine. Okay. Just on that. Have you got a block? I was going to say, have you got a block, but I've just seen. Yeah. Okay. So just pop that there. And then you can, or do it with a straight leg. Does that give it enough support? Okay. Do it with your legs straight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on that side, on this side anyway. Inhaling, straight back, straight arms, pulling against the foot to help you get that length. And exhale, release. Left leg straightens, right leg is bending in. Good. Lift tall, inhale, twist round as you exhale. Good. Straight leg, foot pointing up. Bent leg drawing in. Your arm might go past the leg, or your arm might be hugging the leg in. Do it. Right leg bent, left leg straight. Left leg straight, right leg bent. But the other way around to what you were doing. That's it. There you go. Another breath there. Eyes as far around as they can see. Remember to try and practice the eye exercises which is in the last session, in the poses where you can. Inhale all the way back to center. Exhale, right knee drops out wide, Bring the sole of the foot up as high as you can on the inside of the left leg. Then again, you can have hands out or hands forwards to the foot. Pull and lengthen, and then softly fold. Be connected into the breath and into the asana, the pose itself. Asana meaning seat. Can you feel the seat, the connection of your pose, connecting you to the ground, prepping you for openness in your body to sit and meditate? Inhale as you straighten your arms, straighten your back. Exhale as you release, give your right leg another reach out and take your legs wide. Last forward bend with your legs wide. Inhale, lift, roll forwards on your sit bones, and exhale, bow forwards. Hands walking forwards to hold the feet, or you can lay your arms in front and bow forwards from there. If you feel like holding onto the feet helps you drive your way forwards better, then hold the feet or the legs. Feet around. Inhale with a straight back. Exhale as you come up. Cross the legs. Close your eyes. You remember the end of the last class a fortnight ago, we did a bit of humming bee breath from Ari. So we're going to humming bee breath before we lie down on the back. So if you take your fingers and just seal them across your eyes, just to block out most of the light, make a slight cup so you're not touching your eyelids. Thumbs ready next to the cartilage over the ears, ready to block out the sound. And we'll just do 3 rounds. Remember, it's a deep breath and the sound of the humming bee on a long, slow exhale. And imagine you're opening up a portal inside as the source of that vibration spreads throughout you. Okay, so when you're ready, take a deep breath in and block your ears 3 rounds. When you're completed, your arms just relax down, the eyes stay closed. Let that tenderness stay with you, that gentle hum as you lay back into Shavasana. Relax your whole body and feel the after effects of the vibration of your prana, your life force, circulating around as a form of connection. Now that new level of stillness in the mind helping to drop you deeper into the state of yoga. Deepen your breath in. And relax your whole body as you exhale. And begin to move it just enough. Slowly make your way around to your side and up to sitting. Arms together once you're up. Just like the humming sound, let's carry that long sound and vibration with a long exhale. Take a deep breath in. Oh. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all. Thank you very much.